Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Leading Change episode, the Wednesday episode this week with Priyanka Gorai. Hi, Priyanka. Welcome back.
Hi, Vasco. Thank you.
So, Priyanka, on Wednesdays, we explore change management, change leadership, anything that has to do with helping to transform organizations, teams, or helping individuals themselves change. So let's dive into one of those stories, a story of a change process you were involved with and the things you did to help change along. Highlight for us the tools, the tips, the tricks, and the techniques that you've used back then that you still apply today.
Sure. For change, I have a suggestion here. It's about the community of practices. In every big organizations, mostly there are community of practices. If it's a small one, and if you don't have one, please create one. That's my suggestion, because this community of practices help a lot. Where all the Scrum Master from your organization join together in a session where you share stories with each other and also tools and techniques. So I prefer to join the community of practices actively in all the organization I have worked with. I would like to share some stories from the previous one. It is joining a session where the Scrum Masters were sharing their knowledge about Agile coaching techniques and Agile coaching models. For example, the GROW model and Oscar model. So we had a session where we actively participated and we implemented this kind of GROW and Oscar Agile models with each other. So where we did a setup and spoke to each other in a way that we are speaking to someone else, and we practiced it. And then it was a takeaway for everyone, for each and every Scrum Master, and we went back and implemented in our teams. So this is one of the story. And in other session, I learned about the liberating structures, which is also very crucial in Scrum teams, because you can see if there are few team members who are really active, and then there are few who hardly speak, and to give a platform to those people, those introvert ones who might have some good ideas and which might be very helpful for the organization, for the team. So giving them a platform. So with the help of the liberating structure, you can easily implement that and easily get some ideas from them. So these are the techniques, tools I have learned from the community of practices. And that's why I'm suggesting each and every Scrum Master out there that join the community of practices. If you don't have one, then create one.
Absolutely. And there's the aspect that relates to change, which is that it helps spread those practices, right? Like, of course, you learned, and as you did, then your colleagues as well learned how to apply those coaching models or liberating structures, and then can bring them to the team. Another aspect that I've seen very useful when it comes to the communities of practice is how the participants bring problems from their teams and discuss it together, right? So just like we try to help the teams come up with ideas and solutions and share them and improve as a team, we, the Scrum Masters, are also a team of sorts that needs to learn and improve. So we can then share those practices, practice them, right? Like learn by doing, as you said, and therefore help change along, right? I can imagine that, for example, architecture or technical practices, community of practice would be important, a QA or testing in Agile projects, community of practice. And Scrum Masters can even use their own time to start some of those, to get people together and to foster that kind of change.
Yes, definitely. And that is also helping the organization as well, because in that way, you can also influence the management part as well, that these are the challenges we are facing, or else these are the improvement we happening in your organization because of Agile, because of Scrum. That's where you can highlight to the management. That's also a platform to use.
And also the community of practices help us build these informal networks, right? Like, oh, I've heard this from somebody else, and then you can go and talk to them. and share what you've heard and learn from what they have learned as well. And these informal networks, especially in larger organizations, are the groups that actually end up making things happen.
Exactly. And also sometimes the community of practices can invite outsider coaches. For example, one of the time I joined a session where a coach came and he really helped with negotiation skills, with communication skills, like how you can convince people. So this kind of thing, and you can share your story, your problem with them, and they can give you a nice solution.
That's another aspect, right? Like it gives you the opportunity to bring in experts and experienced people from the outside that come in and share their experience in a conversational atmosphere. Absolutely, community of practices can be a great contribution for the transformation or the change in our organizations. Thank you for sharing that, Priyanka.
Thank you, Vasco.
Leading change is one of the core skills we must acquire, but it is only one of the steps towards our success as Scrum Masters. Tomorrow, on Success Thursday, we will talk about how to define success for the Scrum Master role. We'll cover tips on how to measure your way to that position, and most importantly, how to develop that focus on continuous improvement that is as important for Scrum Masters as it is for teams. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.